Are you fascinated yet skeptical about the metaphysical, the mystical, and everything in between? Do you struggle to understand how to stay spiritual in a physical world that's constantly challenging you? What about the thought that you chose to experience this life and the lessons you go through? Well, this just might be the podcast you're looking for. Thank you for tuning in to Intuitive WTF Podcast. I'm Aaron Hart, intuitive reader, energy healer, and past life enthusiast, providing you a place to challenge, question, and maybe even laugh at my perspective and your own about the connection between the human, spiritual, and metaphysical journeys. So let's tune in. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Sorry for the technical difficulties. The purpose of this live that we were doing was to promote an event that I'm hosting, Spiritual WTF Experience, at Heather Farms on March 30th in Walnut Creek. And so Cinthia is actually going to be leading one of our what I call experience workshops. So it's like an immersive experience that we have, one of three that we have on that date. And hers is going to be called the Inner Mystic Hour Intuitive Readings and 5D Messages, where we receive messages from the fifth dimension. And you can ask them live. And it actually has been something that I've actually been a part of for like almost 10 years now. And it's some great messages and just life advice and direction on, how to proceed with certain, issues you might be having. So it's helped me a lot. So thank you, Cinthia, for doing this and being a part of this. And we'll hopefully the next one we do will be a little bit smoother. Um, so
It's always fun, right?
yes.
There's nothing more fun in the woo world than having technical difficulties, because that's when you're like, sometimes we're just not, we just don't have the same language sometimes.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Well, I think it's just Facebook's its own. Every time there's an issue, I have it with Facebook. So I think that was probably what it was. One other thing too, jumps just from my event, admission is free. Experiences are $35 for the hour of attendance. So I guess do you wanna go ahead and maybe do a little intro? Or you already introduced yourself, correct? But we want to go ahead and do it on camera so we can add this to my podcast.
Sure. Yes. I'm on your podcast twice. I love it. I'm Cinthia Varkevisser. I like to call myself a spiritual shit disturber, because I'm a disruptor. I disrupt your way of thinking. I disrupt um, your stories, and I shake loose what no longer serves you. And then I get you to the other side so that you can really have a deeper understanding of who you are, what's your purpose, and how your special secret sauce is here to help the world, because we all are. And yes, you are. You're here to help heal the world in your own special way. So, like I said, I've been doing this for 30 years, and I'm really happy and impressed to say I can't do shit like you guys do shit. So, let's get everything clear so you guys can do the shit that you need to do, and I can go woo, and we can do some pretty amazing stuff together. All right. Um, I do I not I do. I channel in an energy from the fifth dimension called Endura. Want to let you know that this energy is informational only, which means there are no emotions involved. It is it's a little bit odd to get information that way, but you'll see what it's like, because I'll be um, channeling that in a few minutes or so. Yeah, and what I've noticed is that a lot of people have a hard time processing fifth dimension information right off the bat. So, what I like to do is intuitive readings, because intuitive readings are emotional. It connects person to person. It talks about an emotional thing, a past event. It's all very, very here in this third dimensional world, and that's important, right? Because we want to lead as you know uh, our lives with as much integrity as possible. The um, the channeled readings are there to help shift up your vibration so that it can either kick out some other stuff, clarify some other things beyond what we talked about intuitively, and boost your vibration so that you can level up as well. All right. Um, Erin, do you want to ask me any questions or talk about anything before I go? Is there anything I missed? Otherwise, I was going to ask if anybody else has any questions about uh, who I am and what I do.
Did you mention the difference between maybe like 5D messages versus intuitive guidance?
Yes, intuitive guidance again is really all about the emotional level. So what I find is that when people are stuck, they're stuck because they either have a perception of how it's supposed to go, like an expectation, or there's a fear of what the unknown is about what the outcome can be, or there is a viewpoint that it's out of your hands. Okay, so that is not completely false, but you are in charge of so much more than you think. So we talk heart to heart, head to head, however it is, but it's body to body, person to person, emotional level. And then what happens is when I go in, I channel the fifth dimension. If you've ever watched Star Trek, I am in the transportation beam. That's exactly how the fifth dimension comes down. I sit and meditate for a moment, and then a message will come through. Both times you are welcome to ask questions. Aaron is the moderator, so he'll help you ask a question. We'll do the intuitive questions first to get all our emotional stuff cleared out. Do that for a few minutes. So I welcome everyone to at least submit one question. And Aaron's keeping time, so he'll tell us when we're going to slow that down. And then I'm going to go and get ready for the fifth dimension, and then you can go ahead and ask questions from there. And what you'll find is that the questions for the fifth dimension are on a bigger level. So you're not going to worry about at that time because we've already talked about who's bugging you, what's going on that's really, tripping you up. And you can ask questions as in, um, what's my purpose? Or what is my 2025? What is the thing that I need to do? Or you can go on a global level, which is, I'm not feeling the vibe here right now. What's going on? Or something that's a little bit more personal, but much more general. So one person asked, why they felt like they've never been connected to their birth family, even though they've lived with their birth family the whole lives, that kind of thing, right? So it's a bigger question. Okay. All right. How's that?
That was good.
Okay. All right.
Perfect. So, just so everyone knows, just go ahead and ask your questions in the chat. And then the other thing just to mention, so we will be posting this on Facebook as well as a podcast. So just wanted to make that note. As are you going to say something? Yeah.
Yeah, they're here. So
Yeah.
let them just raise their hand and
Do you want to just do it the old school
yeah,
style,
let's do
popcorn, and they
old
can just
school.
ask?
Let's do it old
Okay,
school.
we'll do
Yeah,
it that
because
way.
if we're in, when we're gonna do this in person,
Yeah.
they're gonna have to ask the question anyway. So get
Yeah.
used to
So
it.
okay, but so as I was mentioning, I'm going to post it on my podcast and on pretty much public like social. So just want to make that known in case there's any questions you're a little worried about. We'll, maybe you can chat with Cynthia on that on a one-on-one level.
Okay.
So perfect. Okay, and then the popcorn style. So that actually there's a where is it? The react button at the bottom. Zoom keeps changing their thing, right?
Yeah, I think it is is it in the React?
I
Uh,
think. Let's
yeah,
see.
raise hands.
Did you
And
just see my little? There we go. Yep, Beth, I see that. Okay, so if you guys can just do the raise hand, and then I'll
you'll call on
call.
them, okay?
Yep, and then you can go ahead and ask the question. If you don't want to ask the question, that's totally fine. You can put it in the chat, and I can ask it. Like I just saw one come through as well.
Yep. And if they don't want their name, I can just see who it is. So that's fine. All right, Erin, you're in charge. You
Okay,
got the
awesome.
power.
I'll go ahead and start with the one we got in the chat from Chanel. So, why do I feel like people look at me strangely? Is this me internalizing, or are people looking at me strange?
It's actually a little bit of both. And what's happening is when we start coming into our own, we become more attractive, right? More magnetic. I think that's a better way of saying it because people want, they resonate with people who become more authentic. It's a sexy thing. So there's an attraction. So what happens is that the attraction doesn't need to be sexual. It just means that there's like a turning because there's a noticing that's happening. So I wouldn't be surprised, Janelle, if, that you're working through things and you're getting deeper into your truth, which makes you shinier on the outside. And who doesn't like shiny? So people are noticing you. And because this is new, you're not used to people looking at you in that certain way. So I want you to know that people are looking at you in interest, maybe curiosity, but definitely an interest, and not in any way, in any bad way. They're not looking at you strangely that they think you're an alien, which, that's a different conversation if you want to go there. But what it is there's a curiosity and there's an interest, and it's something that you're going to need to get used to because that's how that all works out. All right. Okay.
All right. The next one is Beth. So Beth, go ahead and ask your question.
Okay. Hello, Cynthia. So nice
Hey,
to see
Beth.
you.
Good to see you.
Well, since this is such an interesting time, I am just wanting to be of the greatest service at this time and what I can do for that. And I'm just wondering, is this primarily through my work? Like, what can I do to take my work to the next level? Or is it in another capacity at the moment?
It's actually more than one prong or one way, but it's the same thing in your personal life as well as in your work. This is the time for you to amplify your work and really be clear about what it is that you're doing and how you're serving your clients and how you're serving people in general. The other part is there is a piece of you that is incredibly caring. You're a really good listener. And so it's also about knowing that you're probably going to end up spending an hour a day listening to other people just to help them feel a little bit more grounded and not as confused, troubled, scared, things like that. Now, in that hour, be really kind to yourself. Just go, hey, it might be 10 6-minute conversations. It may be one conversation. Take as much time as you need to talk with those people, and also be okay to say no and say, I wish I could talk to you now. I can't, let's connect sometime down the road. All right. And you don't need to make an appointment because you don't want to be that kind of service.
Yeah, I guess I want to say on a daily level, because my work is, I'm a therapist, so involves a lot of listening
Mhm.
throughout the day. So it is true, I don't have the greatest capacity after that, after I'm done with a work day.
Yeah, and just remember, it's not work. It's you being compassionate to help other people, really relax. So, it could be your
Mhm.
neighbor or whatever. Set yourself up going, all I'm doing is I'm just helping some alleviate this thing for this moment. And because the more you do that, the more you're settling down your neighborhood, your area, right? Your community. And that's really important as well. And um it doesn't have to take your energy. That's the important part because
Mhm.
and thank you for your service as a therapist. That's a big deal. It's big work. Okay. All right. Does that
All
help?
right.
Okay, good.
Perfect. All right. The next person is Melanie.
Hey,
Hi,
Melanie.
Sam. Hi, how are you?
How
So
are
let
you?
me start off by saying I'm great, thank you. I have seen you at Angel Heart for You a couple of times. I think you're a total badass, and
Cool.
I, yes, I can't say enough. So super excited to be on.
Yeah.
Um, my question is, a couple of years ago, I started really working on developing my spiritual abilities.
Hmm.
And I've hopped everywhere from intuitive readings to mediumship to channeling. I also do Reiki, but I feel like I'm like just hopping on the stones of everything.
Yep.
And they're like, okay, well, focus on what you love. I actually love all of it. So anything that catches my attention, I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to join this group. I'm going to participate in this. So I feel like I have no like direction. I feel like I'm going in all directions.
Yeah, first of all, there's nothing wrong with that. However, I do understand that if you want to take yourself seriously, you can do one of two things, which is that you need to smush more than one modality together in order for it to feel good for you, or to make a commitment to one of the modalities. When you make a commitment to a modality, you don't have to do it forever, but you do want to go in so that you can become an expert. So now I don't want to be a fuck, I'm just gonna be an asshole. So here's my asshole thing. Um, Take classes, all that stuff. And, I always laugh when, people go and they're like, I'm Reiki 1, I'm Reiki 2. Who gives a fuck, right? Who gives a fuck? Go do your healing stuff. Go do your experiencing. I've seen really good Reiki practitioners who take Reiki 1 and then they realize they already have it and that they have their own way of doing it. I don't, I don't want to judge whether or not they call it Reiki, because they say I do Reiki and then they feel really guilty. And I'm like, I don't care. Go heal me, right? People, they don't care. They want to be healed. The way that you're going to heal them has to have clarity around it. So really dip in and get in and do the thing. Do I do medium work? I don't call myself a medium, but guess what? Sometimes ancestors come on in and, of course I'm going to oblige because I want to help the person that I'm with heal. So it doesn't mean that you're going to give up everything. It just means you're going to focus on one thing and then allow everything else to be, in the background. There's still your tools. You can still bring it along, but just do the one thing. You love to connect with your voice. So that means Reiki's probably not in it for you right now. That doesn't mean it's not in there, but there's a part of you that loves to connect by talking. So make sure it's talking, it's talking healing style, and just know that Reiki is still there. Okay?
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, come see me. I'm happy to help you out. I'm happy to help you smush.
Thank you.
Yep. All right.
I felt like that was a little bit for me as well.
Yeah,
'Cause I'm
well,
kind of
we'll talk.
right, yeah. All right, the next person is RL.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. My name is Rhonda. I don't know why I still have my initials in there like that. I'm sorry.
Hey,
No
Rhonda.
worries, that's totally fine.
I love you so much.
My question is, I feel like there's some sort of like presence around me. So I've been finding like little things or trinkets in my house. So like randomly a white feather came in my house like after a funeral I left. And I don't know what I'm doing, like as far as I'm trying to interpret it, trying to find some clarity behind it.
Mhm.
Is somebody trying to give me a message? I don't know. I just feel like I need something to solidify it a little bit more, and need to have some sort of direction.
Yeah, and the people who are practicing, they're probably smiling because they know, right? So, in the way that I'm going to explain it is that you have a guide, right? That's helping you out. Once you know that you are good, you are on a safe path. It's up to you to decide if it's the right path because they don't judge, but you're judging. And so they're giving little things of like, do what you want. I not or do what you decide to do. I love you. Don't worry, you're not alone. I'm not going to abandon you. Go ahead. It's okay if you change your mind. I'm still here, right? So that's what's really important. And when it stops happening, do not feel like you're being abandoned. That is a huge deal of yours. You are not alone. You will not be abandoned. Okay. And so, what's really important is that when the messages stop for now, that that means that you have settled in and you can just go, right? You don't need to look around for approval. Okay.
Okay, I can take that. I received that one. Thank you, Cynthia.
Welcome.
All right. So I'm going to go to a question in the chat. So this is from Jasmeet. This question is geared towards her next step in career. She was laid off in November and struggling to find full-time job. When can she expect her next role?
So here's the thing for Jasmine is that I'm going to say this with love and compassion. You are undervaluing yourself. So this is a really good time for you to explore a little bit and see if you even want to be in the exact same vein. It doesn't mean that you're all of a sudden going to get some kind of C-suite status, and you know that, but it's really important for you to be really happy in your job. And there's a part of you that really, it's important for you to have recognition, and it's important for you to have responsibility, but not like you're like, oh, that's a baby responsibility. No, right? So you want to have responsibility. So really explore, take a look around. This is a great time for you to just kind of, settle things, because what's happening is your energy is like this. It's not solid because it's not about not having a job. It's like, I'm not really sure I like my job, or, the way that the jobs are starting to reframe. I'm not really sure that's the I want it to be. So then you can just start checking it out. Once you start checking it out, then whether or not you get the same job doesn't matter, because your energy is back to solid. Does that make sense?
Sorry, yes, it does. Thank you, Cynthia.
Okay. Yeah, of course.
I was waiting for the chat. All right, perfect. The
Yeah.
next person is Natalia. So go ahead and
Hey,
ask.
Natalia.
Hey, okay, I was having issues with my Zoom. Hello, and nice to see you again, of course. And so I have a question. I'm gonna make this really quick, right?
Mhm.
My son, we dream traveled together last night.
Mm.
He remembers more of it than I do, but for me, it's kind of like I'm having a hangover and I'm piecing together my night.
Mhm.
Um, but there were bits and pieces when he explained, I remember. So he saw two doors. One of them was a 1 and the other was a 0. So it was the number 10 together. And
Mhm.
the number 1 door, he called it a portal. My son is 5. So for him to be talking like this, you and I have had this conversation already, but nonetheless, the number 1 was a door. We went inside of it. We were in there for a long time. And he said there was like, it was like sparkly and shiny and there were hearts and, unicorns. He's 5 again. So anyway, so we left there. I left there. I went into the number 0 and I went to go lay down. And he said he didn't want me to go in there because it was dark in there. But there were dogs they didn't attack. I laid down anyway. They didn't attack me, but they were like growling at me, I guess.
Mhm.
And then there were also cats. And he said that he felt like he should protect me. So he said the dogs were scared of him, so they jumped out of the window, and the cats ran out the door. And this was like 9 something this morning, and I'm still trying to make sense of this. But I remember him getting me, like in my dream. I remember him coming to my room to come get me in his energetic
Mhm.
body.
Mhm. Okay.
That's it.
Well, that's a lot. What do you mean that's it? That's a lot, right?
There's more,
Okay.
but that's a lot already. But go ahead.
So here's the thing that's really interesting to me is that your son was really happy to be in one place, or to go back. And you are the one that decided to go to the other place, right? So there is a part of you that is ready to take risks, and your son is not comfortable with it. Okay. And in this lifetime, your role is that you're the parent and he's the child. So it's important for you don't have to get into it. He's 5, but just tell him that you're ready to that you're there to take some risks, that you can take, that you're going to take really good care of yourself, because you need to take really good care of him, and that you're super proud of him for taking care of you. Um, he doesn't need to worry, because you're the one that's going to take care of, and that if he doesn't want to go into that room with you, that it's okay, and that you will come back. All right. And that he can go
Mhm,
back on his own. If he's afraid to go back on his own, that's a different conversation to have. Right.
mhm,
Because he has gone
mhm,
back on his own before, but I have a feeling he's afraid that you won't be able to do it. right?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
true because, when you're 5, it's really easy to do a ton of good stuff. Um, so I can understand where he's coming from, but if you can let him know, it'll help it'll help it out. So don't worry about what the doors mean or anything like that. Right now, this is about you two having this incredibly close relationship and how it needs to be defined for right now. And when I say for right now, like from right now to the next 5 years.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. He
Yeah.
wanted to stay there. He wanted to go, and he was like, "We
Okay.
can do this together." I'm like, "Yeah, but we have to come back to like Earth."
Yeah. Yeah. And you don't have to, right? It's just because he's
Mhm.
a kid doesn't mean you have to go with him in your dreams. You need rest too. You can
Right.
do your own stuff, right?
Right.
So it's
Right.
okay. So make here's the beauty of it is that you can actually make an agreement on this side, on the waking side, and it'll transfer over, right? Because intention is intention. You can change
Hmm.
your mind, but there you have it.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, cool stuff.
That was actually kind of cool. All right, cool. So we'll go with 2 more intuitive questions we have, and then we'll switch over to fifth dimension. So the next person is Lamar.
Hey, Lamar.
Okay,
Oh, I
Lamar,
can't hear
unmute.
you.
Okay, there we go. How about now? Can you
Yeah.
hear me now? Okay,
Yeah.
bet, bet, bet. Shout out to Natalia. She's actually my sister. She put me on to you. So
Oh,
this is
good.
cool to be here. Really glad to be here and to meet you. Okay, so for the last couple years, I've been seeing different variations of the number 88. Sometimes it will be 88, 818, 808, 538, 844, like different combinations.
Yeah.
And I keep seeing them, and I will look up the number and all the different variations, and it resonates, but it's like I keep seeing it. So I don't know if I'm missing it, if I'm not quite getting the right, what I'm finding is the right message, because human beings, they're actually the ones typing the information online, and I don't know, I just don't want to miss the message because I'm reading something that I don't know. I just want to know if I'm actually getting the right message for me, per se, because there's a
Yeah.
lot of information out there.
Yeah, here's what I'm going to tell you. Even what I tell you could be a piece of shit too, right? Because
Hmm.
I'm coming from my reality. It's not, but I just, it could, but I'm not
Hmm.
gonna, right?
Hmm.
So here's the thing. In my philosophy, I I go for the whole number, right?
Hmm.
So I do the angel numbers, but then I'm going to do it a different way. So the fact that you're looking at eights in my philosophy, eights are about success, right? So the thing about success is success has no judgment. So if you wake up and you say, I feel great, success is going to say, okay, we're going to give you the greatest day, right? If you wake up and go, I feel crappy, then success is okay, we're going to make it the crappiest day ever. We just want to take it to the end, right? That's what success does. So for you, what it sounds like to me is that you are really success focused. And but there needs to be a little bit of definition around success. So there's the big success, right? And then there's the successes within the success, right? So the different definitions. So I'll give you an example. I always tell people I'd rather be, there's a song, right? I'd rather be famous than rich or famous than, you know, anyway. So I'd rather be famous than rich. It's for me, it's important to be well known and in esteem than to have a whole lot of money, right? So for me, success is to be well known and in esteem. But within that, there are other things that I need to do, right? So what I'm hearing from you energetically is that you are very success oriented, but you don't do the definition of the little successes for the big success. That makes sense?
A
All right.
little, yeah.
I'll do it for me. So my success is to be well known, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
The lower success is I want to write a book. Okay, I want to
Hmm.
publish a book. To publish a book, I need to have money. And then I need to have money, so I need to make money. So now there's a little bit of a thing. So it's like, okay, so I want to be well known. To do that, I need to make money and I have to do these things. And I still want to be well known. So money is in there and now I have to what would I be a success if I worked at um Pete's Coffee, right? Or at a coffee shop and wrote my book? That's what I have to decide if that's a success, right?
Mm,
And so for
mhm,
you, what's happening is that you're like, I want to do this overall, then I got this, but you're not taking a look at the things that it looks like it conflicts with what success is,
mhm.
and in order to do the thing that you want to do. Does that make
I-
sense?
Interesting. Yeah, yeah. And even the person who hopped on, talking about like hopping around to different things, like that was another thing to where, and I don't know if what you're saying kind of touches on that too, like feeling like, I don't know, I'm just a bit floaty and like I just feel like I need to pick one thing. It's like, I don't know, like low key ADHD, it feels like,
Yeah,
or like all over the place.
it's not low key, and I will tell you that I am a firm believer of ADHD. However, I believe super intuitive people are being diagnosed as ADHD because you are in an energetic realm that's it's a different vibration of here. So I'm not saying
Mm,
don't get medication or anything like that.
mhm,
What I'm
mm,
saying is, hey, let's work on the energetic level of low key ADHD, and then if that doesn't help settle you down, let's also do that, right? There's two ends of it. So, but for you, for success, and I say this with love, is that you try something and it's not getting the results as quickly as you want because you want to go with the flow, but you want the flow to go really fast, right?
mm,
So then
mm,
you're going to hop onto something else, and that's fun because it feels like it's going to go with the flow faster and not so you're going to hop onto something else. So it's fun. And at the same time, we can talk about this, another time, but if you do one thing, and that one thing, it doesn't even have to interest you. You need to do one thing to anchor you, and then you can
mm,
do all whatever the hell you want.
mm.
Make
Okay.
sense?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
All right, and then the last intuitive question is from Chanel.
Hello.
Hey, I know you.
Yes, now yeah. So so my question was so I do I do write stories a lot actually.
Mhm.
And actually this question would be more actually I think this question is more general, but I've been I don't know what it is every time I want to try to like experiment with something that I do or try to do something new. Like
Mhm.
I feel like stuck in a sense, you know? Like I don't know how to like it's like I don't like I wouldn't like know how to tackle that like a new thing
Yeah.
because I'm not like it's something I'm not used to. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how I would tackle it because I have all these like new ideas that like I haven't done before, right? Things I haven't done before, but I wouldn't I wouldn't know how to execute because it's
Okay.
something I'm not used to. Yeah.
Yeah. So you are really, really lovely, and I will say the unknown really scares you. You can go in your mind, in your imagination, in your stories. You can go wherever you want, and you feel safe because it's
Mm-hmm.
a story. But as soon as you hop outside the story, then it becomes very overwhelming because it feels like it's a whole different universe. The truth is
Mm-hmm.
that there are way more things in common than there are different. So I have this to say to you. Try a new food. Try a new food. Okay. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Have you ever had Peruvian food?
I don't think I have. I've had
All right.
Peruvian food.
Yeah,
No.
go try Peruvian food. Go try something that you haven't tried before. Um, I could be really mean and say try durian, but you
I
know,
definitely haven't had that. So.
You don't want it because it smells like gasoline and it tastes like poop. And so, but it's really good for you. And actually, it
Mhm.
doesn't smell like poop, but it does smell like gasoline. But
Oh
but
my goodness.
try something new, right?
Mm-hmm.
It could be a new gum. It could be a new something, right? It's really about you getting into the habit of doing something just a little bit different. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think
Yes.
about the new thing. Just do the one thing different, one thing different, one thing different. And then what'll happen is it'll give you more confidence to do the other thing that's in overwhelm. The other thing too is that you know how to write really well. So you know the A to Z of how to write. When you
Mm-hmm.
something new, you want to know the A to Z of all that too. And you're not there. All you want to do is go play, right? That's another thing. If you want to, you're a very symbolic person, right? So, and when I say that is you're one of those people that I can tell you to do something that's uh it's a lateral exercise and it's going to affect you very deeply in the area that it is. So go down, go play in a little kid's playground. Go play on a regular playground. Do the thing where it feels a little bit silly, but what you're going to do is that you're going to find that commonality again, and then you're going to just take one step. You don't need to do everything. Just take one step. But the one step is very huge for you. So take one step someplace completely different. Okay.
Yes.
And it'll come back to you in a different way.
Hmm.
And I
That's
would,
good.
yeah. And I would say stick with food because food is safe.
Yes, that is safe. And
Okay.
yes, and it's funny that you say that. That's very similar to the small victories that you were talking about earlier, the small achievements that you were talking about earlier. Because when you say that, I'm thinking I'm doing something small. I'm trying like new small things, and I'm
Mhm.
moving on to the big thing
Yeah.
later. So
Yeah.
I find it funny that my mind just immediately thought of that comparison because
No, that's good. That's really good. I'm glad that you're catching it. Right. Super.
yeah,
I'm really
yes.
glad. So do you have any questions around that?
No, that's you explained it very well, and I'm actually very satisfied with that response. So thank you very
I love
much.
that. I love it. Of course, no problem. Uh,
Yes.
all right. So, Aaron, you want to do quick fifth dimension?
Yep, let's go ahead and do that.
All right, so we're going to do quick fifth dimension. Now that you know some things that are happening with you and satisfies the emotional part of yourself, you can go ahead and go on a bigger scale. You don't need to ask your name if you don't. I mean, say your name when you do it because Aaron's going to call on you and say your name. And if you don't like having your name said, tell Aaron in the chat and he'll just say something else. Right? Does that make sense? All right. And then we're probably going to do this just for a few minutes.
Yep.
All
Answers
right.
come out pretty quick, right?
What's that?
The answers always come out really quick also.
Yeah, we usually just
Pretty
mold
much.
them out. All right. So let me go ahead get channeled and I know I don't need to say it, Aaron, but I just want you to know you can hop in and ask questions too.
Okay.
You said you had already had a couple. So if you're feeling like you want to do it, do it. Okay.
Cool.
Oh, and just so you know, I know that I am in the fifth dimension mode when a message comes out, and the message is for the group. And then once that happens, then Aaron can go ahead and um, start asking, start choosing people. There's an energetic imbalance within this group that wishes for a unification of that vibrational strand. This is within each person. Please know that each energetic imbalance is that of conflict. Please know that this conflict is as not as great as the unification of stranding. This means that each decision, each conflict that you have within you can simply be resolved. Please know that in this simpleness, there is a challenge in meeting yourself on a vibrational level that allows for deep reflection and an opportunity to shift your energetic vibrational value. This is not the easiest thing to do on a human plane. It is the simplest. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, I'm ready for questions.
All right. If anyone has any questions, you can go ahead and use the hand raise button. but I'll go ahead and ask the first one. So this is actually kind of more of like a general question, just considering everything that's going on. What is the biggest lesson humanity is learning about love right now?
It is simply that love is an emotional value. It is important for people to understand that the emotional value of love is that on a finite level, meaning that there is a greater vibrational value than love. There is an understanding and connection on a vibrational level that people must acknowledge in order for there to be unity. Unity does not need to be based in love. It does need to be based on a vibrational synchronicity or a harmonic level similar to that of a chord on a piano or guitar. Please know that this harmonic resonance is based on trust rather than love. It is important to trust in order to love. It does not uh, need to have love in order to trust and be in harmonic value. Do you understand?
Yes. All right. Any questions?
Hi,
All right.
it's Chanel. Oh,
Go ahead.
hi, it's Chanel. I was just curious to know, I have this little feisty inner me that is really quick to respond on my behalf, my calm, loving self behalf. And and I know it's a little different and I'm very aware of it, but who is it? What is it? I love it. I'm just curious. Like, it's just been a little bit more responsive and I've been a little bit more reactive as of recent, but all in a good way. It all comes off as humor, but I can tell there's a switch. Like I
It is
don't
important for you to understand that you are not in harmony, and this is the result as in this rebelliousness. Please know that there is a voice and a fire within you that is not being acknowledged. This means that there is a part of you that must connect to this passionate side. This passionate side does not need to be a fighter. However, fighting is what has been historically what allows you to remain in alignment within your energetic space. Please
Mm,
know that this is no longer accessible to you as your resonance is of a different harmonic state. This means that the feisty part, for lack of better words, must now
mhm.
be recognized on a higher level in order for there to be unification within your self. Please know that this unification can be done mainly by acknowledging that there is a voice that must be heard. Do you
Mm.
understand?
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. The next person is Beth. Beth, you're on mute.
Okay. Already what you've said about harmonic resonance and a chord needing to be in trust has answered one of my questions. But I have another one that is both for me and for another person. It involves a cat, Rosie, who was hit by a car. It was a community cat that a member of my feral feeding team took in after the surgery for this cat. And she's trying to decide whether to return it to the community now that it's healed or try and find it a home. And I am trying to decide, might it be a time for me to open my home to a cat named Rosie? But I also feel like there's a lot maybe up in the air a little with my life. So I'm trying to decide, is it time to actually commit? Because it's a big commitment to take in a pet.
It is important for you to understand that an open house for you does not necessarily mean that the cat will be staying primarily in your home. Please understand that it is wanting a sense of belonging, and there is a resonance within this community for this cat to live in harmony. Please know that the opening of your home will allow for greater resonance within your state, which will solidify you as a being. However, if there is a shift in energy, there is an agreement, for lack of better words, with the cat that allows for the community to absorb, and the cat will be taken care of. The cat is of harmonic value within this neighborhood, and must be maintained within that area in order for it to maintain its health. Do you understand?
So I have a confusion in that this community cat, it came from a community far from me where I live. So it's not part of the community cats that I know. So are you talking about it wanting to maybe return to the community it was a part of?
That is incorrect. It is in harmonic value with this community. It is important for you to understand that the healing and the healing and the connection is of the same community. It is important for you to understand that it is tied in logistically to this neighborhood, for lack of better word, or it is tied to this community logistically. Please know that if you decide that this is not of value, that it will be received by this logistic community. Do you understand?
Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you. The next person is Melanie.
Hi, when I started meditations or when I meditate, sometimes I would feel like this heat radiating at the top of my skull. And someone said, well, that's because there's energy that wants to come out, but you're not ready for it yet. So as I keep meditating, I'm able to kind of dissipate that heat. And I've been working on increasing my vibration, just trying to connect more with spirit. But I feel like there's a piece that I'm missing and I cannot kind of figure out what is going on.
That is correct. Please know that this heat within this chakra central for you is that of a uniqueness. It is important for you to understand that there must be a balance of this heat in order for the transmission to occur. It is important for you to allow this heat to go out of your hands or down through your feet. Once this is experienced, you will find that there is a dissipation of the heat, or rather a redistribution, in order for this voltage, for lack of better words, to move through your body on a much smoother level. Please know that there are healing qualities out out your hands, and it is important for this to be released. This does not mean that you must do hands-on healing, but rather allow the energetic value to move through your body in order for the opening to occur. Do you understand?
Yes, thank you.
All right, the next person is Rhonda.
Mine is similar. I am working on meditating and being more focused and more like becoming nothing but there and present at the same time. So I would like to know, like, how can I improve aligning my energy and my intentions during meditation?
Your meditation is most successful in breath work, or in walking and syncing breath with walk. Please know that meditation is not about stillness in the body, but rather stillness in the energy. It is important for you to understand that meditation can occur on many active levels. You are that of active nature. Allow that meditation to align with that of your energetic value physically. Please know that by walking and breathing, you will find that meditation will occur, as well as a calmness. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, thank you. The next person is Natalia.
I have been recently working on my intuition and strengthening it. I also have fears surrounding it, and a lot of it has to do with religious practices, how I grew up. and not thinking that this is aligned with what I'm supposed to do and my purpose and how I should be helping the world, because I feel like I should be, of course. And I just want to know if I'm on the right track.
It is important for you to understand that there is an agreement within religion as well as energy work. It is of a different vocation. Vocabulary value and not that of anything other. Please know that there is a value in healing, that there are healing words of being a good neighbor, for lack of better words. Being a good neighbor is that of being of service in as many aspects as humanly possible. Please know that this does include the intuitive gifts. It is important for you to understand that this channeling of energy does not need to have a label, for lack of better words, but rather that of just energy. Allow this energy to flow through and you will be of service. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, and then we have one more from Lamar.
Yes. We touched on, I guess, success, and I guess me defining what that is for me. What might be like blocking that, or yeah, like subconsciously, what might be in the way for me being able to define that for myself? Or yeah, create my own definition.
It is important for you to understand that success for you is in way of being, not that of a measurable value. The measuring
Mhm.
that is within you is that of an energetic level. You will find that you are a channel. You are a channel of many things. As you channel, you will find that you will have financial victories, for lack of better words. It is important for you to focus on the energy of a project rather than the outcome of the project. As this moves through you energetically, you will find that you can then add other projects. It is similar that to tending garden. You can tend more than one plant and you can tend more than one species. What is important to understand is what is needed for one thing to grow, and as it grows, then tend to the other. Know what is it is needed in order to grow. It is important for you to understand that you are tending a garden, but you must see one species at a time. Pick one project, allow it to form a higher energetic value, not that of status or financial, but rather of satisfaction and energy. And you will find then that there will be a multiplication of projects as well as greater energetic satisfaction for you. Do you understand?
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, that concludes our questions. I'll give you a minute, Cynthia, to come back.
Hi, party people.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
I
How's
feel like
everybody doing?
when you answer the questions, it's like half of them I'm like, oh, okay, that feels like it's for me. So I really like that.
Actually, for me too, because I don't go anywhere, right? So I get to listen as well, and have my own conversations with the fifth dimension as my lips are flapping. So I want to thank everybody because um, I'm a reflection of all of you. So if there's a conflict, energetic conflict within the group, I'm included. So yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
that totally makes sense. So, all right, everyone, this concludes our session. I think we might have a couple more, but if you are interested in getting like a full-on experience, hope to see you at my event, Spiritual WTF Experience, on March 30th. If you're in the Bay Area, it's at Heather Farms in Walnut Creek. You could learn more at spiritualwtf.com as well. And Cynthia will be there. She's actually been at every one of them. So you can connect with her there, or just connect with her on social as well.
Yeah, I will be doing these. The thing that's really cool about doing the experience with Erin is that one is that it's in person, and two is that this is a chance to to experience it on a deeper level, and as well as financially, it's a different price set. So everyone here I know is back east, or most of you here are back east or in a different area. You will be accommodated. If you are interested, let me know, and we will do this again online. It can go under spiritual, it can go under intuitive what the fuck if you want. Aaron, we'll work it out. Let's just make sure
Yep.
that we
Fine.
take care of. All
Cool.
right.
No, I agree. That sounds great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all, and look forward to seeing you again. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for showing. Thanks for coming up.
Thank you for listening to Intuitive WTF Podcast. I hope today's episode brought about a new perspective, or at least made you question a current one. If you enjoyed this show, subscribe to this podcast now, and don't forget to rate and review. If you have any questions or would like to add your perspective to today's topic, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, join us next time for another round of laughs. I look forward to bringing you many more WTF moments, but until then, this is Aaron Hart asking you to stay in curiosity, be in the moment, and always ask yourself, what the fuck?